They said it was impossible. They said,
you can't put together the most elite team of comic book reviewers on the planet and do, a podcast or something like that?
Despite all that, today we can proudly announce. Yeah, they were right. We couldn't do it. So instead, we brought you the most vile, ignorant, unprofessional group of comic book enthusiasts we could find. This is Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic podcast.
I hope I hope you're ready to channel it and panel it on Panel to Panel. I don't even know what the fuck that means. I just made that up. But anyways, my name's Josh. I'm here today with good buddy Adam.
Greetings.
Oh, man.
Excelsior.
Today we're going to be doing a Immortal Hulk number 20. So before we get into that, we asking for your help to go follow us on YouTube, to subscribe, Game Rage Magazine. Please, we need 18 subscribers. Help us out. Additionally, if you want to follow us on social media, it's at Game Rage Magazine on Instagram and TikTok, at Game Rage Mag, Twitter/X. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram. What?
I was thinking, because people are going to hear that I'm munching on
Chips,
some chips. I don't want to say the name of where we got it from. So I was like, sounds like rhymes with but Hotley, like
No,
it'll be the poverty version. If we made a comic book, we'll call it But Hotley.
But Hotley?
Because you blow out your cornhole when you fucking hit it.
Oh, man. But Holte, now with free toilet paper on the side.
With dude wipes.
Dude wipes as a side. Oh, man, that'd be fucking genius. They should team up with them and fucking offer that, man. Anyways, you can also follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official. I don't know if that's where I left off, but whatever. All right, fuck it. That's the end of the plugs. Anyways, Immortal Hulk number 20. We get this sweet cover with Betty Ross as the Red Harpy Hulk on top of Hulk, seemingly betraying him and fucking murdering his bitch ass. So now we get the quote at the beginning. This is now the hour of death and rebirth. Timothy Leary, the psychedelic experience.
The man that I think created LSD, or
yeah, something like that.
The father of LSD. Fuck remember.
Anyways, so we get Bruce Banner of Earth at the top, and we get down in the green zone area with his dad and him standing here, and his dad says, "Welcome home, son," and it just says Bruce Banner of Earth at the top, and then at the bottom it says, "Can you hear me?" And we get these lines throughout the thing on the panels. Basically, Bruce is there going like, "Oh, great, the below place. Like, man, did I even ever really leave this fucking place?" And he's like, in one sense, no. You never have, not since the bomb, killed you that first time. But in another sense, you're kind of just coming and going. The others, you along with the others, go in and out through this green door. We've had conversations like this before many times. You probably don't remember. And he's like, "You think I don't?" And he's like, "Fucking, you manipulated me, everyone around me, to split me off from the Hulk, to bind me to some kind of cosmic Satan." And he's like, "Yeah, the one below all, good buddy." And he's like, "I am myself, but I am also him. You remember that, Bruce, because then you didn't come to us. We had to open the green door from your side. We came to you, but sometimes that's how you show love as a parent, by putting in effort." He's like, Bruce is just like, "The others, what the fuck are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, And he's like, "The delinquent," which was, what's his name? Ross, right? Or not Ross, fuck, I don't know. The Quack, the old goat, the copycat, my sister's idiot child, your wife. And he's like, "Betty was here?" And he's like, "Just passing through." He's like, "This is all your homes, This is where you all belong. This is where Gamma comes from. One form of it anyway, the hidden form. Not a particle, not a wave, an emanation of the divine."
You got like this blob. Well, it's not a blob, but it's like a wave or tidal wave of fucking
the gamma energy, and it's got these eyes in it and shit. And he's like, "Nah, man, I don't believe this. This is fucking. It's gamma is a measurable scientific phenomenon. And he's like, yeah, man, you always say that. And but from one angle, from above or below, it's just magic, bro. It's a magic spell. Everything is more than one thing, you idiot. And he says, am I a man yearning to escape hell? Am I a monster wanting to bring it to Earth? Can't you, of all people, see the middle ground? And he's like, sometimes there isn't one. If you're trapped here alone in hell, I can't think of anyone who deserves it more. He's like, oh, Bruce, my son, my clever boy. Who said I was alone? And then it's fucking his mom's there. He's like, no. Oh, mama. He's like, oh yeah, she visits me sometimes. Not for long. He's like, Mom, come back. And he's crying. He's like, don't embarrass yourself, boy. And she just walks, and he's just like, no, Mom, and he's fucking crying and shit. And so then it goes back to that disembodied voice or line or whatever saying, do you know who I am? And it's just like, Mom, please. And she like walks back through the green door, and we just hear, help me. Ah. And Hulk says, it's okay. I got you, man. I've always got you. And then the Hulk gets back up, totally repaired and legit, and starts fucking up the abomination. And so he says, let me guess. He's like, once I was dead all the way, he started on you, right? We need to watch out for that stomach acid. And she's like, stomach acid? She's like, no stomach, no acid. And he's like, that works, but go easy. It's Jones under there. And one more thing. And she's like, Jones, yeah. When you killed me, you hurt the big guy. Don't ever do that again. And she's like, she looks at him and says, don't hurt me again. And he's like, all right, fine, deal. And so he sees Jackie fucking standing in the back, and he's like, oh, what the fuck are you doing here, you dumb bitch? And she's like, well, Hulk, she killed you. Yep, you just said she killed you. She tore out your heart and ate it. Yep. And he's like, oh, yeah, man, that's just like my hard reset button, you know? He's like, you got to kill me to jumpstart the healing or whatever. And he's like, and now I'm here. And he's like, welcome to my world, bitch. This is how it is. It's brutal as fuck. What's the question? She says, my editor, he wanted the story on Mrs. Banner and what happened back in California. And, I found out. Now here I am. And she's like, Betty's like, I brought her with me. She had questions. She doesn't like the answers. And she's like, nope, I don't. And, hey, man, this doesn't faze you. She's like, your wife has turned into fucking that thing. And he's like, oh, well, it happens.
Yeah, as if it's like a casual
it's like a common thing. And he's like, well, welcome to the world of the Hulk, right? It's like the monkey's paw. I wanted to know, now I do. And I can't stop knowing. Like I'm still trapped in hell, and the only way is down. And he's like, what are you? And then he's like, oh, shit. And we have this fucking giant, I don't know, it's like some fucking aircraft fucking thing that's blowing all these drop ships coming in. And these are it's called War Wagon 1, and they are just fucking shit up. They're just shooting everything and blowing it up as they're flying through, and they're like, oh shit. And basically she's like, did you just save he saves Jackie, and she's like, did you just save my life? And he's like, well, don't catch chickens there, lady, because they're coming around again, and we're probably gonna die. And she says, well, we got the Jones boys to deal with, and we got the fucking the abomination's just like it's like its stomach is open, and like the fucking acid is like just draining out of it. And they're like, oh, the stomach wound is healing, but his acid attack isn't functional. They're like, well, bare hands then, go for the head, tear it off at the neck. And there's some poetic justice in that. And so the abomination grabs Betty and starts fucking choking the shit out of her. Like he's gonna rip her head off. And Hulk's like, ah! And these dudes just fucking come in with this war wagon thing and just start, they're just Gatling gunning the fuck out of everything. And they're hitting the Hulk. He's getting pinned down. And Betty tells him like, hey, fucking deal with it. I can handle this. Like, you fucking go deal with these humans. And she's like, this Jones is mine. I'm gonna fuck this dude up. And she fucking flies up with this dude and basically fucking rips him in half and just drops him from this fucking super high up. And these War Wagon dudes are gonna deploy some fucking that daylight weapon again to like, fucking knock them all out or whatever. And essentially, the abomination crashes into this fucking thing that they were going to deploy it with and blows up. And now everybody's saved. Hooray, the day is saved, you guys. And they're like, oh, fuck, man, Wagon 2's on fire. Like, oh, God, he's coming right for us, General. And the Hulk just grabs this airship and just fucking punches it into fucking oblivion. And chucks it at one of the other ones. And this is a cool, like, this explosion fucking panel right here is fucking great, man.
Yeah, it's like, oh, man, we saved the day. And you just see, like, everything fucking wiped out.
They wiped out an entire small village or small town, like, probably killed everybody in the town.
Hooray, we saved the day.
Oh, look at you guys, we saved everybody. Well, everybody that's still alive, that is. And they're like, fuck, man, like, what the fuck just happened? Like, they lost all of the thing, and the one guy's like, they're like, what just happened here? And he's like, well, I think the Hulk punched one of the ships into the other one. That kind of sucks, man. And they go back to Jackie, and she's like, Amadeus Cho had a theory. He said Bruce Banner was always subconsciously working to stop you from killing anyone. And he's like, yeah, I heard that one. Little screwy, but it makes sense for the other Hulks. And so you see fucking old Rick Jones, Abomination is fucking on the ground, fucked up, and basically Hulk is just ripping this dude in half. And he's like, well, let's see what this thing does here. And he just rips him in half, and they pull out fucking Rick Jones's goddamn, like, emaciated fucking corpse. I don't know what the fuck this is.
He looks like an actual grown fetus.
Yeah, like
an adult.
A large fetus, yeah.
But the weird thing is he's not even human. Like, because he's got, like, those undead sunken in eyes. So it's like, what the fuck is he?
I don't even know, man. And so he's like, all right, looks like there's more fucking coming in. We got to get the fuck up out of here. So they bounce. Then there's more flying craft coming in, and he's like, oh, I know who those are. Get everybody out of there, and that's an order. And who do we see? Gamma Flight shows up, and he says, for now, we're leaving Gamma Flight alone. And we get fucking Doc Samson is here. Everybody, it's who the fuck's this little midget guy's name again?
I forgot his name.
I don't remember, but you got fucking all the whole new Gamma Flight people, and basically they're gonna pick up Crusher Creel, that's that dude's name. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna pick this dude up and get out of here. And Doc Samson looks and he says, nobody here needs any more trouble. And then he looks on top of the hotel and he sees the Hulk, Jackie, and the Harpy Red Hulk, Betty, like their silhouettes on top of this hotel. And he's like, not yet anyway. And then you get that disembodied voice again saying, can you see me? Do you know who I am? And then we go to a black scene when it says that. And then this panel shows like, stars and galaxies and shit. And it says, do you know who you are, Bruce Banner of Earth? After everything that led you here? After the Horseman of War and his nightmare armor? After the Steel Throne and your awful decision? And you see Bruce on like a fucking asteroid with some dude all fucked up down here at the bottom. And you see this person with like, it's like this lit up like fucking angelic person saying, after the beast of myth and the Hulk that was, after the thing in the tube and the thoughtful man, and after all the time that has passed, what are you at the end of all things? Gibura or Golakab, the man or the monster? What are you, Bruce Banner of Earth? And then he's looking all like fucking like one of those zombie things or whatever.
Yeah, and he's got like the sunken in, well, he's got like the devil Hulk eyes, but he's like a
sunken in
undead zombie, somewhat. And
we see this figure that's this like, I don't know, embodiment of light as a person, basically saying, what will you become, as it's staring at him? And ends with Metatron is the title at the end here. And we get the nice little picture for the next issue preview of the Hulk on all the fucking screens, and 4D fucking staring at it going like, oh, we're about to fuck the Hulk shit up now. And after this issue, it gets real fucking crazy. Like, it gets real intense. So this issue kind of was... we got some good action sequences. We got some good body horror. We're pushing the story along. And I guess we'll see where it goes. What do you have to say about it?
So the philosophical and like theological stuff that was presented like in the earlier issues, I feel like it's taken a little bit of a back seat because they're trying to tell a story about what's happening with Shadow Base and the Hulk and all this shit. So it's like that stuff with what ultimately will become a Bruce Banner down the like millions of years in the future. That's all bits and pieces, like piecemealed for you, but for the most part, it was just kind of telling a self-contained like story about this new like villain of the week, which is Abomination, and he's got to tackle that problem. He's still obviously got the 40N problem, but we get to more of like the existential like shit down the road.
Right. Yeah. So, we're getting down to that. We're getting to that. It's gonna get crazy. So, anyways, all right. Well, this was a good episode. You got anything else to add or good issue? All right. Well, cool. So, if you want to help us out, go to Game Rage Magazine on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow Adam on Instagram and at All Gas No Trash Official. You can follow Game Rage at Game Rage Magazine as well. You can follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast. All right, that's it. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
That was Panel to Panel, the Game Rage Magazine comic book podcast. Thanks for listening. If you want to know more and follow along, go to Instagram and TikTok. Follow at Game Rage Magazine. If you want to follow on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Tune in next time.